Honor is not the exclusive property of any political party. Good evening and welcome. This is Face the Nation. Our topic of discussion today is the need for speed, national development. Joining us this evening on the show are Dr. Mahim Mendis from the SJB, Mr. Chinniah Ratnavadivel from the Lanka Tamil Arsukachi. We'll also be joined by Nuwan Bopage from the People's Struggle Alliance shortly on the show as well. To pose questions from our panelists this evening, on to immediate left is Shihar Rani's independent journalist. Now you too can join in as far as the conversation is concerned. Send in your messages via WhatsApp to 076 656 5353. The number once again 076 656 5353. Let's get the ball rolling today with Dr. Mahim Mendis from the SJB. Dr. Mendis, I want to understand the current context of the SJB. Is there a broader alliance that is brewing with the SJB at the forefront, or the UNP at the forefront? Is there something happening right now as we speak in the political forum?
SJB is a political party. SJB is also an alliance that is a Samagi Jana Sandhana. Samagi Jana Sandhana from the very beginning had constituent parties. Sri Lanka Muslim Congress to Manu Ganeshan's party to Digambaram's party. We have always invited, our doors have been open to like-minded people, parties, to join the Samagi Jana Sandhana. United National Party was always welcome, then and now, to join with the Samagi Jana Sandhana. We as members of the SJB have absolutely nothing against a party called the United National Party, which was led by great men like Ranasinghe Premadasa. And what is good about our party is that we respect all the founding fathers of the United National Party, and also ideologically we believe that most of our party leaders, the founding fathers of the UNP, happen to be social democratic, including J.R. Javadana. At the end of the day, was not a rightist. Some would like to call him a rightist, but of course we were very critical. People were critical of authoritarian tendencies of J.R. Javadana. But what I'm trying to say is that members of the SJB have absolutely nothing against the United National Party that produced Sajid Premadasa and made him the deputy leader. It was a problem at the leadership level that really paved the way for the Samagi Jana Balavegya as a political party.
So I'm trying to figure out, Dr. Mendis, based on what you just said a couple of seconds ago. You said you all don't have an issue with the founding fathers of the United National Party. You said that great men like Ranasinghe Premadasa has led the United National Party, henceforth that you all don't have an issue with the UNP. So is the issue with Ranil Wickremesinghe?
Yes, very frankly, as the country knows very well, the people in general, members of the UNP, more than maybe 99% of the UNP executive committee, including the former chairman, Kabir Hashim, all these people joined with Sajid Premadasa in forming the Samagi Jana Balavegya. Why did they join? Some of them were recruits of Ranil Wickremesinghe. Dr. Harsha De Silva to Iran Wickremaratne, they were introduced to national politics by not Sajid Premadasa but by Ranil Wickremesinghe. But it came to a situation where these members of the United National Party were very, very certain that there was no internal democracy in the party. And the party leader had his own way and was a very stubborn leader who was not prepared to listen to the majority in such a context.
Right.
SJB arose.
Right. I just want to understand, Dr. Mendis, I'm trying to figure out now, against such a leader who is riddled with corruption, like the central bank bond controversy, when he was arrested and put in remand custody, and he was taking refuge at the Colombo National Hospital, your leader went and visited him several times. What was the thinking then?
It is very clear to members of this JB, people like me, you see, who even file action against so many people on the bankruptcy of the economy case. We are very certain, and we are principled enough to say that any member of the UNP or SJB or anyone who has very clear corruption charges need to be produced before the judiciary, but we are very clear that it has to be with respect for the due process of law. We cannot be satisfied, however much. Personally, I've been extremely critical of Ranil Wickremesinghe as a media spokesman of the intellectual forum, the Buddhimanda pair of the SJB, extremely critical, but the way in which Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe was dealt with is unacceptable to the SJB. It's not just Samagi Janabalawege not being pleased with the arrest of Ranil Wickremesinghe. Even if Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa or anyone else is to be treated shabbily outside the due process of law, making the law a mockery in this country, I think Mr. Sajid Premadasa will be the first person to speak out against.
If that is the case, Dr. Mendis, why is Sajid Premadasa not talking when individuals in the caliber of Rajasa Senaratne is being arrested and put in remand custody?
You see, well, I cannot very clearly say whether Rajita Senaratne's arrest is outside the due process of law. What I'm trying to say is that the manner in which I have not personally studied.
Ranil Wickremesinghe's incident is out of the due process of the law, is it?
Yes, making a mockery. You see, making a mockery of the law.
So whatever the government is doing in terms of arresting politicians right now who are riddled with corruption is justifiable in the eyes of the SJB.
Any person, I repeat again, any person with very clear charges of corruption need to be produced before the court of law with respect for the law. We cannot tolerate anything where a government takes the law into its hands, acting with impunity, making the law a mockery, because if that is the way they dealt with a president of this country, 6 times Prime Minister, as they say, he may be having corruption charges, as you say, the bond scam and various other matters that are absolutely questionable. Your station questioned all that. We have questioned. We continue to question. Ranil Wickremesinghe, you see, with regard to those matters, those are unpardonable. Whatever that is absolutely questionable remains questionable, whether it is Ranil Wickremesinghe or any member of the SJB with corruption charges, if there are any. They need to be produced before a court of law. We have absolutely no problem with that. But whether it be members of the FSP or UNP or whatever party it may be, or the TNA, there is a way to deal with corruption. There's a way to deal with even crime. We were extremely critical. Our leader was extremely critical of the way Vasanta Mudulige was treated.
But you agree corruption is corruption at the end of the day.
Corruption remains corruption. Corruption should be eliminated from the surface of this earth.
Because right now, Dr. Mendis, as you speak, we saw the manner in which even what happened between 2015-2019 at the Central Cultural Front is also being investigated by the government for misappropriation of public funds. Are you aware of it?
Of course.
And you're also aware that who the minister was at that time?
The minister, the Cultural Affairs Minister was, I think, Sajid Premadasa.
Right.
And there was a, on that, they brought a no confidence motion in Parliament against Sajid Premadasa. And what happened to that?
We'll speak about all that.
The fellows who brought the no confidence motion ran away.
We'll speak about all that momentarily, Dr. Mendis. I now move my attention to Chinniah Ratnavadivel from the Ilenge Tamil Nadu Sukalchi. Mr. Chinniah, I don't see the ITAC very prominently expressing their voice now in the political stage. Why is that?
In Ranil Wickramasinghe's issue?
In many issues.
No, that may not be visible because most of the time it was Mr. Sumandran who speaks in Parliament against all these matters and on every issue, national or Tamil national issues in Parliament, so that is highlighted. But in his absence, he was not elected last time, and that may be one reason that is not coming out. But still, now being the secretary of the party, he voices concerns and he expresses his opinion on almost all the matters. But that is not coming in national press, I guess. It is a regrettable thing that the press, the media in the south does not give enough coverage to issues affecting Tamils in the northern and eastern provinces.
So, in terms of the issue relating to Ranil Wickramasinghe's arrest and subsequent release from the court, what is the position of the
it is exactly just like what Mr. Mendis said. It is the same position, and this is what Sumandran also publicly stated. And we have, as a party, we have no regret about the charges that was brought upon Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe. Corruption is corruption. That has to be dealt with. That has to be eradicated from the surface, from the country. And this government, I have to give credit to, take steps, enough steps, bold steps, to do that matter. So, as long as Ranil Wickramasinghe's matter is concerned, he was charged. There was evidence, we are told, that that is enough to be charged against him in the court of law. That is correct. But the way he was dealt with in judiciary is not right.
I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Chinniah, now all the politicians from the opposition are saying the way he was treated was wrong. But I just want to understand, how do you expect an alleged criminal to be treated in the court?
No, this is not the general treatment.
I'm asking you a very simple question. If we put the law equal to everyone, how do you think we should treat Ranil Wickramasinghe, who is alleged to misappropriating public funds amounted to 16.6 million Sri Lankan rupees?
He should be dealt with.
No, but I'm asking, how do you think
okay, no, I will come to that.
Must we lay a red carpet and bring him to the courts, or what do you all think should happen?
The issue that was raised before the public and before everybody and every party or everyone in the country raised was why he was brought to the court on Friday and giving him not enough chances to plead for bail. And it was apparent, it was believed that Ranil Wickramasinghe should be remanded. This is the issue. Not any other way.
But that is the decision of the magistrate.
Yeah, but the magistrate was not given enough time to consider his bail matters. At the last moment, he was giving evidence till in the afternoon or so, and when he was brought to court, there was not enough time, not enough opportunity to plead for bail.
Yeah, but we all know, Mr. Chinniah, based on the allegations that have been levelled under the Public Property Act, it's a non-bailable offence.
But now he is given bail, no?
He
Now,
has been
now
given
how
bail-
come
no,
he was
has
given
been
bail?
given bail on exceptional circumstances, because that has to be proven. So what the magistrate said when the case was taken up the very next day was that it was under exceptional circumstances, taking into consideration the health of Ranil Wickramasinghe, that he was bailed out.
But that exceptional circumstances was not brought to the notice of the magistrate. That chances was not given before that, no. So when the chances was given, he was given bail. So you must give the opportunity for him to place the reasons why he should be bailed out.
But
so
you're also of the opinion that a criminal is criminal at the end of the day, right? A criminal is a criminal at the end of the day.
Yes. Yeah, there is no doubt about that. So once now Ranil Wickramasinghe is guilty of the offence or not, we don't know. That has to be proved in the court of law in a proper way. So that is a part. But he is a suspect. Okay, suspect. Misappropriating public funds. There is certain law. Okay, no remand, no bail. Okay, that has to undergo the due process of law. That is what is not right in this instance is he was not heard to obtain a bail. The bail, in recent times Supreme Court gave a verdict that you don't just remand everybody. They hear them and remanding. Sending somebody to remand prison should be the last option, and giving out bail is the option. So that he should be given free movement, and anybody under law. Under public property misappropriation,
right.
It should be you cannot give a bail. But he was given bail under certain circumstances. That circumstances was not placed before on Friday.
But if this happened to anyone in Sri Lanka, you all will raise your voice accordingly.
Yeah, we have.
Is it only because it's Ranil Wickramasinghe all are voicing?
Yeah. That is correct. We have raised this question on many times, and that was not. That is what I said. The public, media in the south is not giving enough publicity to that. But this has happened to many cases in the north and east. Many cases. So that is why we have raised the question. It is not because of Ranil Wickramasinghe. So as he said, this is a general question. This is a general matter.
Right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Chinniah, Ratnavadivel from the ITAC. I now move attention to Nuwan Bopage from the People's Struggle Alliance. He's also an attorney at law. Nuwan, what happened yesterday?
Yesterday, in fact, the government, NPP government, now they, as you discussed earlier, what the picture that they wanted to portray, that all are equal before law, everyone will be treated according to law. But yesterday what happened, the Gampaha district Frontline Socialist Party office, we have been maintaining that office for last 15 years. Yesterday morning, a group of NPP, or rather SLPP, they forcefully entered into that premises and took over the possession, evicting comrades of Frontline Socialist Party. So this place has been maintained as FSP office, and all the important documents and other lot of materials, propaganda things, everything is there, and the library is there. So everything is now in the custody of JVP. What the police did, police completely opened the entire area allowing them to enter into that premises, and after they took over the position, they put barriers preventing FSP members going to the premises. So ultimately police openly supported this particular gang thugs. So it has shown the path of the JVP. So it's a very disappointing situation. At the same time, what we have to say, we have been doing this politics for last 2 decades. So we have faced people's struggles, and we know how Ranil Wickremesinghe and Mahinda Rajapaksa treated the people, as to how they treated our parties, how they narrowed down the democracy. So JVP also now decided to go on same path. So we are willing to, we are ready to face that.
Now, what is the update on this? Now, have you all filed a complaint? Or
Yes, we immediately lodged a complaint. Basically, police has to take steps once we lodge a complaint. So the caretakers and the de facto owner of this property, Comrade Chamira Koswat and Sujit Kuruvita, they lodged their complaints, and 6 of our comrades were injured. They lodged their complaints. Then police has to immediately act upon that. So they should arrest these particular thugs. At the same time, they should take immediate court orders to reinstate us in the possession. But they have not taken any steps. What they are saying, they want to do more investigation. What more investigations?
So do you all have any CCTV cameras that this incident has taken place? Is it very
early morning they actually removed all the CCTV cameras and recordings. So the phones which available with the comrades who were inside, they took over the possession that phones as well. So everything is now in their custody.
So are you trying to say that the law is not being implemented equally when it comes to matters of this sort?
Of course, not only that, there was a wild law. So nothing, not only the implementation of law, it's actually a contempt of court, because there is a court proceedings. In that court proceedings, Tilvin Silva, the secretary of JVP, gave an affidavit and specifically said he or his party will not be interfere with the possession of FSP. So that affidavit is there. So this is a contempt of course. They disregard all these legal provisions, court proceedings, and they took law into their own hand. So we are for a moment we are not saying it's a pathetic situation, because we know from the very beginning, even from the year 2012, we know how JVP, when there was a ideological debate inside party, how they treated us. We know that. So it's not an astonishing thing. But what we have to say, there are people who are with conscience in this JVP and NPP. There are genuine people who have some sort of mind regarding these things. We are willing to address them. If this is the conduct of the JVP, you have to come forward and of course show them proper path. Otherwise, you have to face the same things faced by the other political parties.
Being a lawyer, Nuwan, I know you have appeared for many suspects before as well. You being a lawyer, how do you find the conduct of the police department? Because if it's black and white on a matter of this sort, why isn't arrests being made, and why aren't the suspects being produced before court?
Of course, they are completely biased. It's very clear. So I personally attended on this inquiry. They are completely biased. So they should know what is the law. So they are very reluctant to implement the law, because there were around 4 parliamentarians, NPP parliamentarians, and deputy minister. So they also came to the police. So I am a witness as to how police handle this. So they are completely in the hand of the government. They are
so
completely
in a situation
biased.
like that, what action can you take as a lawyer to safeguard the interest of your party?
Yeah, on our part, we of course we will. There are certain actions, the legal proceedings that we are going to commence. We are definitely doing that. But law is not everything. So now what they are trying to say, they wanted to implement new political culture. So we are actually political party. We are doing politics. So certain things we can resolve through the law, but not everything. So there are moral things. There are things that everything cannot be covered by the
So
law.
what you're trying to say, basically, just to summarize, the president saying that the law is equal to everyone has to be taken with a pinch of salt when it came to the matter of the FSP and the JVP.
Yeah, not only this incident is very clear. Now government took law into their own hand. For last 13 years, they did not want to take over this position. Once they came to power only, suddenly overnight they wanted to take over the position. Therefore, it is very clear they are misusing their power. So not only regarding the FSP, now you have discussed regarding Ranil Wickremesinghe's issue. We are without any hesitation, what we are saying, that in that particular charge is also concerned, completely they are biased. They were actually with the Ranil Wickremesinghe. They wanted to actually release him, because as far as the other charges are concerned, that which they could frame against the Ranil Wickremesinghe regarding bond scam and the torture camps, Batalan the torture camp. At the same time, during the Aragalaya, the way that he handled the Aragalaya. So all these things are concerned. There are multiple charges that you could raise against him. So this charge is a very trivial charge. So they just want to show something that to the public, to their supporters, they are going to implement law against Ranil Wickremesinghe. But the inside story is there was an ulterior motive, give room to Ranil Wickremesinghe without charging the main the charges with merits. They charge for a trivial issue. So I think everything is set up. So this is the conduct of the government, not only us. Whatever people that they wanted to give favorations, now they are, without any hesitation, they are giving that favorations.
Right, so I open the floor for questions from the only journalist who's flanked today. That's Shihara, an independent journalist. Shihara.
Yeah, I'll start with Dr. Mahim Mendis. Doctor, now it's almost 1 year for this government since President Kumar Dissanayake was elected. How do you see the progress of the government with the context of how they are implementing strong anti-corruption measures? I mean, Nuwan now says like it's basically selective justice. How do you see that, or the progress?
Well, at the end of the day, even before 1 year has come to an end, we know the direction in which the government is moving. We need to see very clear progress in social, economic, political, cultural, moral, every frontier of national development. We're talking about corruption. It is the fundamental obligation on the part of any government under the state in a democracy to ensure that the legislation is complete with regard to elimination of corruption, and also the structures are well constructed and the right people are in the right positions without any political motivations. Credibility of governance is something extremely important.
So my question is, do you see that progress?
We don't see.
Why?
Very clearly, we don't see. We see all types of games, tricks, right, being played by the government. Mr. Wickremesinghe, well, Mr. Nuwan Bopage very rightly said, if there are proper, if there is a genuine intention on the part of the government with regard to elimination of corruption, in the case of Mr. Wickremesinghe, there were formidable matters before the people, within the UNP, within the SJB, within the people of this land, with regard to Mr. Wickremesinghe. What type of charges were brought with regard to Mr. Wickremesinghe? Well, that is not the way. You cannot say taking Mr. Wickremesinghe to custody in the way they did is progress with regard to elimination of corruption. Now, we as a party, we very clearly stated that elimination of corruption cannot be a politically motivated matter. Mr. Sajit Premadasa very clearly stated that what is important is to ensure that the structures are right so that anyone even within his party, for that matter even himself, will be dealt with if he is corrupt. It's not for politicians and for politicians to be involved in politically motivated thought and action to go behind other politicians under any circumstances. This is the way of life now of this government.
But Dr.
This
Mendis,
government has not made substantial progress
I'm just trying to
with
figure
regard
out,
to any of this.
Dr. Mendis, I know you're not a lawyer, sorry, you're not a doctor, but we saw Ranil Wickremesinghe walking on his own to the court premises, and I saw him saying to everyone there not to worry in a very loud voice as well when he was taken from the van to the court premises as well. And then 24 hours later, he was in the ICU. Is this possible?
Well, I'm not a medical specialist.
No,
as you say.
I'm not asking you on medical grounds, but I'm trying to figure out, can that happen?
Well, the thing
Because
is,
if you look at the submission that was
I'm
made by
asking anyone within whatever party,
yeah.
Ranil Wickremesinghe is yet another citizen of this land. He happens to be a leader of a political party. Whether it be the SJB politicians or UNP politicians or JVP or NPP or whatever party it may be, do not make the law a mockery.
No, we are not talking
We
about
are
that. I'm
accusing the
asking-
government of
I'm
making the law a mockery.
Yeah. Dr. Mendis, I'm not asking you about that. I'm asking you now, based on the President's Council's submission to court, 3 out of the 4 major arteries of his client, that's Ranil Wickremesinghe, are blocked. Surgery is not an option. He is suffering from chronic kidney disease and experiences breathing difficulties during sleep. My client is afflicted with nearly every major illness imaginable. So I'm just trying to figure out how did he even rule the country with all these ailments?
Well, quite so. Well, you're raising quite a reasonable question. Any reasonable person will be raising this question.
Because I'm asking this question, Dr. Mendis, I'll tell you why. Because based on what the lawyer said in court, he said that because of these reasons, because of the breathing difficulties he has, he must be connected to the CPAP machine while sleeping, a device only his wife knows how to operate. So when Ranil Wickremesinghe was on his overseas visits without his wife, who put this machine?
You should be asking Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe and his personal staff as to who did
Because
justice
I'm just
to the
trying to
machine.
figure out. I thought you would be knowing.
Yes. All what I want to say is, Ranil Wickremesinghe, as far as I'm concerned, is yet another citizen. Right?
No, we
I'm
wish him
asking
well.
Mr.
We wish
Ranil
him well.
Wickremesinghe not to make a mockery of the law as much as this NPP government that is making
If it was
a mockery of the rule of law.
If it was Shihar who's arrested or if it's Nuwan who's arrested, can they go and admit themselves in the ICU also within 24 hours?
I don't think so.
So it's an exception to Ranil Wickremesinghe.
If that has happened, if it is considered an exception, well,
Well, after a couple of days, he was walking and
so all
going
these
home.
things. Yes, so, well, that is, that was seen. Well, I'm also surprised. I think even his immediate family members will be surprised as to how he became fit all of a sudden.
Nuwan, you spoke about wide law, right, and selective justice. But if you analyze the past 11 months, they have almost arrested 15 high-profile, politicians, including Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, former president, and some of the ministers, right? So why do you say it's selective justice?
No, what I meant was now, of course, whoever committed the crime, according to law, there is a procedure to be followed. So politicians, irrespective of their politicians or other civilians, that procedure should be followed. So our concern is merely because a person is arrested, that doesn't say justice could be dispensed. It's a different thing. So after protracted trial only, because until it is proven, everything is a presumption, everyone is innocent. So what we believe now, for instance, Nimal Lanka, he was arrested. One of the complaints lodged, I think
2006.
2006. Yeah, 2000 years ago.
2006.
2006. So likewise now it is a mockery because there are multiple charges against these people, and at the same time the NPP during their election campaigns they reiterated these things in their stages. So whatever charge, rather than converting it to another campaign, whatever charge, first you have to collect concrete evidence, then they should be arrested. Granting bail or not, it's a matter that court should decide. So we don't have a concern about the bail. What we need, you need proper charges, proper evidence. Through that you should punish these culprits, those who committed these crimes against the people, against the public properties of the society. Now, for instance, I have been experienced for last 17 years, when police wanted to remand someone, they insert charges under Public Property Act, especially for university students. After a protest, they put charge that they break the lock of the gate of UGC. Then put valuation, it is more than 100,000. Then you have to go to High Court. To take bail, you have to go to High Court. It takes 3 months time. So some charges under Ragging Act. So no evidence whatsoever, but they put charge under Ragging Act. Then once again you have to go to High Court. The ulterior motive is to remand them maximum period of time. So this is the conduct of the police. Now, as you correctly pointed out, for Ranil Wickremesinghe, the same charges under public property law. But within 3 days, he enlarged on bail. So how it happened? So that's what we are saying. You should be genuine. So the same law is implemented against university students in a different manner, against Ranil Wickremesinghe in a different manner. So that is the demand. When the people doing this change in 2024, that is the demand of the people. Everybody should be equal before law. Now, within very short span of time, this government itself showing, no, everyone is not equal before law. So, thing is, as you said, you need not to be celebrate when people are arrested. It should be done. That is the duty of the law. But the disappointment is these arrests and these charges, most of the charges are actually not the charges that people expected, not the charges that punishable, because these are very trivial issues. So that is our main concern.
But Nuwan, if you go through the social media, right, which is now seen as the minds of the public and the community. But if you see the social media now, Wickremesinghe's arrest, brought some mixed reaction. It's not totally opposed. It's not totally welcomed, right?
Yes.
So in that context, I mean, this was something expected by the public or the voters who actually voted for the JVP or NPP. So in that context, don't you see that it's something should be done, and they were expecting that to be done to others as well?
Of course, that's what I said. Now the level of allegations against most of the politicians can be SJB, SLPP. So I think you could remember the JVP, before they come into the power, they brought a set of files and asked media to come. And so they have 400 plus files, and they possess all the evidence regarding these culprits. So they take immediate action. So but the indication they have given, they have evidence, and they will immediately act upon that. So people expected that. People believed that. That's why people voted them. So then you need not to show dramas. So that is what they were brought to the power. So that is their duty. That is what contained in their this manifesto. So they should do that. They don't have any excuses. What we are saying, it should be genuine. You should do that. So rather than once again converting into drama or converting into their campaign, you have been given that mandate, so you implement that.
But is this a targeted attack on the frontline Socialist Party? Because if you look at it, Nuwan, you all have been fighting since 2012 openly. I don't know whether you all fought before that, but we know after Kumar came to Sri Lanka, there was an issue as well. So after that, you all split, and then you all have been fighting ever since. And if you look at the last 5 years, you all have been fighting at university level every year. 17th of December 2022, 2023, 14th of September 2024, the Jayabardhanapura incident where there were two student groups clashed, and now this. Is there any target being made to wipe out the frontline Socialist Party completely from the political stages?
Of course, the conduct of the government is very clear. So initially, they considered us as a irrelevant political movement. So most of the statement, what they said, even they were not ready to recognize us as a political party or a group which earlier with JVP, then actually they once they said the Tilwin Silla and others said they are unaware about Kumagul Ratnam as well. So initially they wanted to do that. But our politics basically based on oppressed. So we are organizing the working class. So that is our politics. So we have been passing very difficult times, very hard periods, but still we are completely rely upon the policies, left policies, socialism. So I think recent past, you also witnessed that regarding Indian intervention, regarding Indian agreements, regarding the IMF interventions. The only party came up with the substantial evidence to say that these are not solutions. IMF is not a solution. The Indian intervention, how it detrimental to the society. So the FSP only brought these issues to the table, to the discuss. So I think JVP, NPP, they are aware the actual opposition is now FSP or People's Struggle Alliance. Others, even SJB, SLPP, they are inside the parliament. They were still unable to take any action inside the parliament against these Indian interventions and IMF agreements. So I think JVP now recognize the only threat that they have as far as the public politics is concerned, the general public, who can convince the general public regarding this issue is FSP. Now I think that's why they are doing these kind of things, because now they have executive power. They have two-thirds majority in the parliament. Most of the local authorities with them. Now what is the purpose of taking the power of a small office in Gampa of FSP? The party who's controlling the entire country, what is the purpose of evicting us from a small office in Gampa?
You all paid the rent and all that. No, there's no problem.
No, we de facto, we have been possessing it for last 15 years.
Was there a court order for you all to evict?
No, there's no court order against FSP. The only court order, it has been taken by them by filing a collusory action against a third party who was not in the possession of the property. So we have been the only group that possesses.
So you all own this 100%? You all own this property?
No, there is issue regarding the ownership, because ownership has to be resolved after the court proceedings. So let's assume there is a judgment in favor of them. So what is the procedure? You can't enter into a property by force. You have to come with the court officers. Through a court order only you can evict us.
So that procedure was not followed?
Not followed, exactly.
Okay, so I want to come to Mr. Chinniah Ratnavadivel from the ITAC. You all issued a letter to President Kumar Dissanayake on the 14th of July 2025. Are you aware of this particular letter in question, Mr. Chinniah?
What is the content of the letter?
The content of the letter is about the Chemmani mass graves The letter very clearly says that there is clear evidence of war crimes and a genocidal campaign. When you look at the Chemmani mass grave investigations in Jaffna, what is the position of the ITAC, in your opinion, on this matter?
Yes, now till yesterday there have been more than 200 skeletons have been found, unearthed, and these killings have taken place during the previous regimes, and we have been asking the previous governments to do investigations on these mass graves and do proper investigations. Nobody has paid any attention to it, but now because of a recent case it started anew, and within 2 months period they have uncovered more than 200 skeletons, and following that ITAC has written a letter to the president to do investigations, to install a commission or whatever investigation to properly investigate into the incidents that led to these mass graves, and support all investigative activities, including international experts to come and investigate all those matters, because we don't have locally enough expertise to do the proper investigation. And
because you all have requested for 5 pointers. One is the legal consolidation of the 1999-2025 Chemmani excavations into a single judicial inquiry, engagement of independent international forensic experts to ensure transparency and integrity, public disclosure of forensic findings and DNA results, repatriation of the 1999 remains currently believed to be in Glasgow for re-investigation and dignified return, significantly enhanced resources for the ongoing excavation and immediate steps to prosecute those responsible.
Yes.
So these are very tall orders given the fact that the government has just come into power. Do you expect some sort of action by this regime?
It is only the government which can do all these things, nobody else can do it.
By any chance, did the president respond you to this letter?
No, he has not responded it. We have written several letters on several issues, and president has given assurances and promises, and from the time he came to power and in his election manifesto, he promised that private lands
Mr. Chinniah, now
acquired by the government, military during the war, for the war effort, will be released. Even yesterday he was there in Jaffna.
Just have to ask the question now. He was there, opened, started this Mailati fishery harbour, and then started some new projects, including the international cricket stadium, right? But nobody spoke about Chemmani during that visit, right?
No, nobody means who? We.
Yes.
We have been speaking about it, but he was, there was no media interview by him. He has not given any media interview. Or there was, now we have, on his own, he has expressed what he is planning to do to people in the north and east. And this has been, he has been saying this from the time he has assumed power. But nothing is happening, nothing tangible is happening. Now he has opened, laid a foundation stone for a sports stadium in Madadivu, and Mailati harbour. So he is opening as a third stage development program, and all that. He is doing all that, but the basic problems now they are talking about development. What we see is for the country to develop, there should be national unity. peace and tranquility in the country. So that is why we have been asking. We will also be part of the development program once our national question is resolved. So the people are in tension, all the problems that the missing persons, now thousands of persons who were handed over to military and don't know what happened, and they have been agitating for years now, more than since end of war, and there is no solution. The government, President said in his own manifesto that we will find a solution to this, and no solution has been found yet, and no tangible step has been taken towards the end of a solution, nearing a solution to these questions.
So this letter also goes on to speak very strongly. I quote this: the earth at Chemmani is speaking again. Symbolic gestures of reconciliation ring hollow without real legal action. Do you think that in the next few years, this government being in power, there will be at least some substantial effort being taken in terms of reconciliation and accountability?
We have to be hopeful. That's all we can do. That is how we have been passing time now since the end of war. We have been hopeful for a solution and solutions for every issue that has been faced by the Tamil people.
But if you look at if you look at it, Ms. Chinniah, in a span of 3 to 4 months, I think this is the second visit undertaken by President Kumar Dissanayake to the north, and he has been received and welcomed very warmly by the general public in those areas.
That welcome is always given to incumbent president. When even Mahinda Rajapaksa, under whose regime was all the atrocities committed, when he went to Jaffna, there were, that was all organized receptions. That always, everywhere the president goes, anywhere president goes, there will be a lot of people coming to welcome him, and that is a very common thing in politics. That is happening everywhere. Any minister goes, and it is all arranged and set up thing. So that you can, how many people, how many voters are there in Jaffna, and how many people attending these meetings. This is very common. This is you can't judge the government receives so much support and all that. That is
Dr.
not
Mendis, now was Sajid Premadasa invited for the convention that has now been postponed because of the health condition of Ranil Wickremesinghe to the UNP convention?
Well, as far as I know, official invitations have not been received. People are talking about SJB members to be invited and all that.
No, I'm asking about the leader.
Right. You see the leader's position.
No, Dr. Mendis, simple question. Has Sajid Premadasa been invited by the UNP to attend the convention?
Not to my knowledge.
Right.
Not to my knowledge.
In the event he is hypothetically invited, will Sajid Premadasa attend? And now you might say, I don't know because it's his decision.
I know.
Right, okay, Good.
I know what Sajid Premadasa believes in. He has made it very clear, even last week, to members of the civil society, members of Aragalaya groups, journalists. I was present in that gathering. It was very clear that Sajid Premadasa has no intention in uniting unconditionally with people who do not share the same political ideals. We believe in unity with anyone, issue-based. Sajid Premadasa spoke for Ranil Wickremesinghe or Vasantha Mudalige or whoever it may be on issues, acting with impunity. I don't think, if you ask Sajid Premadasa why he spoke for FSP affiliated student leaders or for Ranil Wickremesinghe, well, he will say it is absolutely wrong that in this republic, which calls itself a democracy, that people can be treated so shabbily. Now, unity with anyone. We have always claimed, we have always stated, I'm a member of the working committee of the SJB, very, very clear that the SJB wanted people, anyone, to join with the SJB, anyone from the SLPP, from Pohot Tour, or even FSP, anyone to join with them based on a very clear political agenda. And our ideals are very clear, leaders' ideals are very clear. There's a social democratic agenda. We are not a rightist party. We claim, the leader very clearly claims, anyone can say all sorts of things, but it is a social democratic alternative to the regime that prevails. If Mr. Wickramasinghe and the United National Party believe in the ideals, the ideology of the leader and the political agenda of the SJB, they are welcome to join with us. And we believe in peace and unity.
They must join with you all don't want to join with them.
You see, the thing is, there's an extraordinary situation. It's true.
Which is?
What is the extraordinary situation? SJB came out of basically the boom of the UNP. They are, almost 99% joined to form a new political formation, right? So, when you say unity, basically, it's quite clear by the type of people who 4.5 million with the preferential votes also, 4.5 million who voted for Sajith Premadasa, and 2.2 million for Ranil Wickramasinghe-led political alliance. At the end of the day, basically, you see the large mass of people believe very clearly that if these people are together on one political program, the party will perform better. Unity will be a victory for the people, right? But the thing is this, emotionally...
But now, depending on the way that all these politicians are going behind bars, there won't be any SJB or the UNP in the future, no?
Well, we can't say that, no. Even on Wickramasinghe or whoever it may be, the NPP and Anura Kumara Dissanayake and his colleagues have been talking very big about how they are going to prosecute people based on the evidence that they have. They have not made any real progress apart from this nonsensical issues. What I'm saying is what they have brought with regard to Ranil Wickramasinghe are not serious-minded charges. The people are not talking about how Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe attended a ceremony in Wolverhampton University or anything like that. You see, that is a very shabby and a very trivial and a nonsensical charge to be brought against a president. We believe that it was done in that way. It was done because this is a backward, a primitive, and a very, very, reactionary type of backward, extremely backward.
So in
Bankolot fellows, you see.
So there's a very famous quote by Ranjan Ramanayake Share. I don't know whether you remember. When we saw Ranil Wickramasinghe in court, that was the only thing that was ringing bells in my mind.
Let me ask this question. Now, in a nutshell, what you say is, there is no possibility that SJB will join UNP.
SJB will join UNP tomorrow, or the UNP will join the SJB, and the UNP will join, provided what Mr. Sajith Premadasa has very clearly spelled out, issue-based, social, economic, political, cultural, moral. We have a program. We are a social democratic party. If Mr. Wickramasinghe and the UNP agree with our policies, there can be a good unity marriage.
Who will be the leader?
It is valid not only for the UNP, it is valid for anyone.
Who will be the leader of this coalition?
What coalition?
This coalition that you are saying, the UNP and the SJB.
A possible coalition.
You see, there is already, as I told you,
No, who is the
Samagi
leader?
Jana Balawegaya is a political party.
Yeah, I know, but
Samagi
who is the
Jana
leader?
Sandhana is
Yeah,
an alliance.
but you are not answering the question, Dr. Mendis.
No,
Who
it
is the leader?
We have not made any
It could be Ranil
progress
Wickremesinghe also.
in that direction.
Yeah, but it could be Ranil Wickremesinghe also.
It's up to the party membership. If they are coming into a alliance, if the two parties old, the
Yeah, but
the
in your
old
opening
party and
remarks,
the new party
in your opening
are to
remarks,
unite,
yeah, but
let the
in your
let the
opening
people
remarks,
decide.
Dr. Mendis, you didn't say it's a party. You said the leaders have a have a difference of opinion.
Yes.
Now the party, why is it changing?
What?
The position of yourself, where initially when you started off, you said it's the party leadership that has a problem with the leadership of the UNP. And now you are saying the party members have to unite and decide who the leader is going to be. Don't you think it is ultimately relying on the two leaders itself as to who is going to lead?
I was talking about the birth of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya. How the deputy leader of the UNP, Sajith Premadasa, was at the receiving end of absence of internal democracy in the United National Party, and how the large mass of people, the majority, overwhelming majority of the Politburo, the working committee of the UNP, decided that there is no way forward anymore. With Mr. Wickremesinghe, they formed the SJB. That is that. There was a dispute very clearly between the two leaders, one believing in internal democracy, the other person who never believed in internal democracy. Now we are talking about in 2025, what type of alliance and a marriage is possible. Right, okay. Clearly spelled out, Mr. Sajith Premadasa, the undisputed leader of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, and I am a member of the working committee of the SJB. We firmly believe on issue-based, ideals-based unity, not unity with Ranil Wickremesinghe.
So you are saying if Ranil Wickremesinghe is appointed the leader of this coalition, you will step out?
Well, it is yet to happen in the first place.
Dr. Mendis, now is internal democracy there in your party, SJB?
Yeah, there is internal democracy. If you are asking me whether there is internal democracy in an ideal sense in a political party in Sri Lanka, well, the answer is not yes, the answer is no. Every single political party in the world, for that matter, need to understand that they have a long way to go with regard to democratic benchmarks. But in the United National, unlike in the United National Party, I have the right to be critical of Sajith Premadasa. Even publicly, I can criticize. In the working committee, if he is on the wrong direction, right, I have a right to criticize. And I'm sure Mr. Sajith Premadasa is, I don't know whether he's listening to me. We have the freedom to criticize the leader. Very firmly.
Mr. Chinniah,
You will be there in party tomorrow, no?
Of course. Of course. Of course. I have the assurance that Mr. Sajith Premadasa recognize my right as a working committee member to be critical of any policy that contradicts the objectives and the ideals that brought the Samagi Jana Balawegaya. Of course, I will be resigning from the party. If it is going to claim that it is an absolutely rightist party, I am very clearly spelled out social democratic personality, right? If the party is to deviate from these ideals, of course, I will not have to remain in this party.
Mr. Chinniah, Ratnavadivel, now you spoke about the national question and you said you need a political solution before the development, right? For your community in the north. Now, 13th Amendment was implemented as part of this, finding a solution for the national issue, right, in 1987. And the Provincial Council election is one of the key element of that, 13th Amendment. Now, how concerned are you on the delay of provincial council elections?
Yeah, this is a serious concern for us as a political party and as people living in the north and eastern provinces. The 13th amendment was brought and included in the constitution. It is part of the constitution. It is part of the constitution, and as a solution to the Tamil national question. But so far, and at the from the very beginning, we have been saying it is not the final solution. However, we have to go from here. We have to start from here, and we will go further. And it was agreed upon. But now what happened is, now even those councils are not functioning for the last 5 years. And what we have been asking is, this was brought, some in the south try to say this is a white elephant project and all that, this is not needed and all that. Yes, okay, good. For the people, this was brought in mainly for the benefit of the Tamil people. I mean, north and eastern provinces. Okay, if you think that this is white elephant for the southern people, leave it and hold the elections for the northern and eastern provinces. That was the main purpose of the 13th amendment. For the some kind of devolution of power to be given to the Tamil people, and so hold the elections. And we are concerned because there was amendment. There was a purported amendment to the election of provincial councils law, and that was not in place, and that was challenged, and that was defeated in parliament. And then thereafter, and we have during the last parliament, Mr. Sumandran has brought a bill to hold the elections in the way it was held during the previous election. And Ranil Wickramasinghe, that was during the regime of that what he called Jahapalane Andu, and Ranil Wickramasinghe and agreed, and that was first reading was over and the final reading was about to be brought. And at that time the presidential election came, and the presidential election when was declared, and who was our party has decided to support Sajid Premadasa, and because of that reason Ranil Wickramasinghe did not bring it to parliament, and the election was unable to be held now. So,
but did your party have any? Did your party initiate any discussion with this government? Because NPP's main ally, the JVP, that party opposed the Indo-Sri Lanka Accord and also the Provincial Council when it was started in 1988. So did you all start any discussion with this government? Did you all start any discussion with this government on the Provincial Council elections?
We have been asking for it. Now let me give you a briefing of what happened as regards the Provincial Council with the NPP government. Before the presidential election, when Anurag Kumar Dissanayake came to Jaffna and met our party leaders in our party headquarters, he promised that we will hold the elections and we will as a solution to the ethnic problem.
You mean the Provincial Council election?
Yes, and as a solution to the final solution to the ethnic problem, we will bring a new constitution. Until such time, we will have the same provincial council in place, and we will not go against it, and we will hold the elections, and that provincial council will be in effect until a new constitution is brought. But that has not happened. So the impediment to holding the election is the way how election should be held. And so now Mr. Sumandran brought a bill, and that was that was not passed. So the same bill was now recently, 2 months ago, was brought by Rasamanikam Chanakyan in Parliament, and that has to be passed through Parliament. Once that is done, that is very simple bill to hold the elections according to the previous system. If that law is passed, you can hold the election tomorrow. This is what the Election Commission has been saying also. He is saying now we can't do it because there is no way we can hold the elections until this amendment, amendment to the election to the Provincial Council is brought about. So once that is done, and we have been asking, and he is saying yes, and we have written letters, we have submitted memorandum, we have met in delegation. Our Parliament delegation has met President Anurag Kumar Dissanayake 2 times, Parliament group, and he promised we will hold the election soon. Before, and Vimal Ratnayake said before the end of this year. But doesn't seem that that is not going to happen.
To pass that law, to have the election under the previous method, what does the Parliament have to do?
Parliament has to pass the law.
So,
that bill. The first reading is over. Now it is before the Parliament. Parliament has to. The Speaker and the government has to take it up, right. Brought it for voting, and if 2/3 majority, he has a 2/3 majority. If that is passed, next day you can have the election.
Right. Do you watch Tamil movies, Mr. Chinniah?
Yes.
Are you a big fan of South Indian cinema?
Not big fan, but I watch movies. Yes, right. Because the.
So do you know Joseph Vijay Chandrasekhar?
Yes. Vijay, yeah, he is now having a new party, and he is making very big hue and cry about Kachadiv and all that. Yes,
right. Okay, so
yeah, I think you are coming to that. Yeah, that is a.
So now, what is the position of the ITAC, where Tamil politicians are asking to regain Kachadiv back to India?
Kachadiv is part of. Undoubtedly, it's a part of Sri Lanka.
Part of Sri Lanka.
That is all done, finished. This is during every election time in Tamil Nadu, the politicians raise this issue. People who have been watching Tamil Nadu, we have been watching Tamil Nadu politics and watching movies and all that. We know what is happening there. And they also know that, they just, there are people here now. When recently an ex-Navy commander was arrested for some crime, and Udaya Gamanpilla said, no, this is, and Namal Rajapaksa says, which one, no, just a minute, which one against Rajapaksa family and the military who defeated LTT terrorists and all that. So this is, part of the election game.
This is just as a good movie of Vijay that you have watched recently.
No, I have not watched this movie recently. I have watched only Rajinikanth's movie recently. Oh, what is that movie, Coolie. That is the movie I watched last.
You all have time for that also, like watching Netflix in the night, watching movies.
But I have not watched Vijay's movie for years.
Right. So anyway, you have a question for Nuwan, or shall I?
Nuwan, in your initial remarks, you critically said about the intervention by foreign governments. And how do you see the current government, handling the foreign policy?
First of all, I have to say they don't have foreign policy, because for instance, this Palestine issue, Sri Lanka has been maintaining very straightforward, rigid policy regarding the Israel and Palestine. Now, the foreign ministry released a statement regarding the Palestine issue, only one paragraph. There's nothing regarding Israel, nothing regarding USA. So if you have a proper foreign policy, of course, even during the Sirimao Bandanayaka era, the very reason the Israel violated the Security Council Resolution 242, she took a very straightforward and very strong position to stop all the diplomatic relationship with Israel. Now here, Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan government is not willing to at least use the name of Israel regarding this completely going against the foreign policy of the Sri Lanka. And now you talked about the Kachatiu issue. Mr. Vadivel also spoke about it. Now, I think as far as the other issues are concerned, now the Kachatiu is a very simple issue, because as far as 7 agreements signed with India is concerned, the defence agreement we all still unaware what is contained in the defence agreement. Out of 7 agreements, they have disclosed only 2 agreements. Now we are talking about the Kachatiu, President going to Kachatiu and making dramas. But what are these agreements signed with India? So where's our foreign policy? Non-aligned foreign policy? Nowhere. Then regarding the tariff, US tariff. Now President Trump said that the tariff has been reduced from 44% to 20%, subject to certain conditions. What are the conditions? Nothing has been disclosed yet. According to certain statement of the government officials, what they agreed upon, to purchase oil, fuel from US, and to allow Tesla cars to come to Sri Lanka, to import Tesla cars. So those are but they are saying those are the conditions implemented. But there are some other hidden conditions whether they are going to once again implement the MCC. Where's our foreign policy? Now here, Iran is willing to sell us fuel for low price. Russia is willing to sell it. Iran is willing to sell us apples for very low price. Our government refused to take them. Where's our foreign policy? Where's our non-aligned foreign policy? So we are completely bowed down in front of these imperial agendas. So that is our foreign policy. As far as this government is concerned, there is no foreign policy. They surrender entire country in front of imperial agendas. So that is a very serious situation.
No, what is wrong with the MCC? No?
I think this debate we actually during the Yahapalaya period, this debate was there in society as to how they are going to, first of all, through the MCC, what they are going to do. There are the farmers' lands are there, so there are certain lands belonging to government. So they are through this agreement, ultimately, US companies and foreign companies will allow to come to Sri Lanka and purchase this land. So that is the main purpose of this MCC. Through that, these foreign companies are allowed to take over the possession of these lands, and through that, most of the farmers will deprive their lands. The country will deprive most of the arable lands. So that was the main objective of MCC. So this debate was there. The people protested that. Because of these protracted protests from the part of the farmers and other progressive movements in this country, Ranil Wickremesinghe reversed the MCC agreement. So I think JVP was in the front line of most of these protests. So now how can they come and justify once again MCC? That's what we are asking.
So in terms of the government's national development plan, we are well aware that the government is lagging a little bit behind in terms of spending the capital expenditure that is due for this year. And we don't see any concrete action being taken, Nuwan, in terms of spending this capital expenditure as well. What may be going on in the minds frame of the government officials when it comes to this spending? Because we all know now bureaucrats seems to be taking a step back when taking decisions because of the fear that they have, because we saw the manner in which how a doctor was arrested and remanded for asking patients to buy medicine through a different channel. So isn't this a bad development for the country? Because when bureaucrats don't take decisions, ultimately that falls into the country going backwards and not to the front.
To the certain extent, you are correct. Because now, what the narrative built up by NPP prior to the election, so they are coming to the power to annihilate the corruption. So that is their main campaign. So once they have come to the power, now the narrative which they are going to create, each and every government servant and everyone have been committing crimes for last or corruption in this country. So that is not the truth. That is not the truth. There are people who committed these kind of crimes and corruption, involved in corruption. Of course, you have to take action against them. But when you create a common narrative like that, there are genuine, actually honest government servants, and they also will be victimized because of that. So government should be mindful about that. What is the result of that? The result of that, nobody is taking decisions. So the entire country is stagnant, because whatever decision that they have taken, nobody is there to protect them. So if they have taken genuine decisions, honest decisions, there must be some sort of protection. So every decision has two sides. So there might be some risky decisions. So most of the government officials, bureaucrats, they are actually very reluctant to take decisions because of this narrative created by NPP. So that will affect the general public, because I know, since we are in this justice system, most of the people who are in justice ministry and other ministries, they are very reluctant to take brave decisions because of this narrative built up by the NPP government.
So do you think that are we on a back foot, or are we on a front foot?
I think we are nowhere. I think nowhere. The country is nowhere. We can't see any direction from the part of the government, because even the politicians, even these government politicians, they are also very reluctant to take decisions, because their mindset always they are to be tainted with suspicion. They suspect each and everything. So you can't do anything if there is suspicion. So therefore the country is right now nowhere.
Yeah, but if you look at the recent developments that have taken place, the arrest of these underworld kingpins, all these are on the right direction, isn't it?
Now, right direction means now then the UMP government, Yahapane government also come to the stage and tell, during our period we arrested Basil Rajapaksa, we arrested Nama.
No, this is not
no, what I'm saying now, then we know
I don't think KP is going to
KP was arrested and he was brought to the country. Then even during Ranil Wickremesinghe's period, various underworld people, they were arrested and brought to the country. So that they should do, because there are agreements, conventions we signed with the other countries. So we can corroborate with them, and according to law, they should be arrested. The red notices could be given. So these are the general things each and every government should do. So you need not to bring it to the surface as one of the it's not nothing to be surprised.
Yeah, but you have to celebrate these policemen who have done this task.
So that is their duty,
but you all are looking at it very negatively.
Not negative. Ultimately, what is happening now? Even the government officials, the minister said, don't try to these criminals, these underworld gangs. So when you give some sort of publicity to them, that will badly affect the society. The minister also said. So no, you need not give publicity. That is the duty of, because these criminals, there are socio-economic situations. Because of these socio-economic issues only, they committed these crimes, and they involving in this underworld activities. So you have to give solution to that. So while arresting them, while charging them, you need not to bring it to the surface as one of the victories of the government. So that is this society, because they converted to this underworld because of some socio-economic crisis of this society. You have to give solution to that, rather than converting it to one of the victories of the society. I think you should disregard this. You should arrest them and punish them. That's all.
So,
No, just one question. I want to clarify something on the MCC. You said that these lands are going to be bought by US companies. Where did you find that?
No, that is the main
It's not
objective.
there in the main. No, it's not there in the
There
main
are certain
document.
conditions. Yes,
Right?
yes, you
It's
can.
not there in the main document,
Yes.
and this was actually kind of rejected by the last government as well as by the US government. But where did you find this? US companies
so
are going to.
according to agreement, first of all, you have to survey the lands.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing. Once you surveyed, then you identify certain plot of lands that after identifying that, the second condition is there's in Sri Lanka most of the lands belonging to the government, either LRC, either Mahavali. So then the law has been passed, especially the land development ordinance was amended in order to facilitate MCC, allowing farmers to sell their lands. Initial law is you can't sell the lands, so that's state land. Then land development ordinance was amended. Then MCC suggested to bring some other laws. That is the second stage, that giving the permission to farmers and who are holding state lands under land development ordinance, you can alienate these properties. So that is the second stage of legal reforms, MCC. The third stage is once these lands became private ownership, then companies are allowed to come and purchase this land. So that is the route of MCC.
What is available in public domain is Nuwan. These lands, the plot of lands, the information on the lands will be available,
Exactly.
right? And there will be a database, and it will be ready for investment, right?
Yes.
That was the original idea of MCC,
Yes.
but it's not for selling. As far as the MCC is concerned.
Investment means once it has converted to public ownership, private ownership, companies can purchase that. So that's the purpose of that. Otherwise, state can straight away lease out these properties to investment, as LRC doing. So why you are bringing law reforms to completely convert it into private lands? The purpose is the companies and multinationals are permitted to purchase this land, outright transfers. So that is the objective of MCC. That's why people protested against that, farmers.
Well, that's very subjective anyway.
Exactly,
We won't go to the nitty-gritties of that. I want to ask a question from Dr. Mendis. Dr. Mendis, I don't know whether you recollect several months ago at political forum, Kumar Dissanayake said, when arrests are being made, politicians should not try and moan or try and complain about this. His exact word was, "Api horuwalana koda kendri ganna epa." But we saw the manner in which how the Pivithuru Helurumaya party members had gone and met opposition leader Sajid Premadasa about a possible arrest of Uday Gammampila. What is the position of the party about such arrests being made?
Anyone can go and meet the leader of the opposition and make representations concerning anything. The matter that you are talking about is a matter that should be resolved by courts. Sajid Premadasa is not going to interfere
He's not a judge.
in the due administration of the rule of law. The due process of law should be administered. It is a position of the SJB that the due process of law is not negotiable. Whether it be whoever it may be. You mentioned the name of a politician, whether the person is from our party, whether the person is not from our party is immaterial, but the due process of law, the rule of law, and the independence of the judiciary are matters that are sacred in line with the SJB policy. There's absolutely no way.
What do you think? What do you think Sajid Premadasa would have told these Pivithuru Helurumaya members?
You will have to ask Sajid Premadasa.
Now you're saying that.
What he said, because I was not present. No, I was,
No, but if everyone, if everyone,
But the
Dr.
thing
Mendis,
is
if everyone goes and meets Sajid Premadasa, when they are going to be arrested, it will be a problem. There will be a huge
Sajid
queues
Premadasa-
because the way in which this government is arresting criminals.
Sajid Premadasa is not a magician. Sajid Premadasa cannot interfere in the due, process of law, should not interfere in the due, processes.
But on Ranil Wickramasinghe's case, it was a bit different.
Again,
no?
very clearly, we should have interfered, not interfered. We sympathized. We sympathized, not Ranil Wickramasinghe. We sympathized, as I said, with young Vasantha Mudalige. Right? And that was once there was a court order to arrest myself together with so many other people of the FSP over KDA, Kotalawala Defence Academy issue. Right? Okay. So, Ranil Wickramasinghe Sajid Premadasa not only sympathized with my plight, but with the plight of all those people of the FSP who were to be unduly arrested.
Now, Dr. Mendis, you are not attached to the FUTA anymore?
I am. I'm in my nearly 40th year as a university academic, having joined the university system in 1986, and I was a FUTA spokesman from 2010 to 13.
These salary anomalies of members of the FUTA has been a big question mark, and at many fora it has been stated that this problem is going to be solved. Now, Harini Amarasuri is also a member, I think, of the FUTA, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
As a university academic
she
who
is
belonged
also
to the department.
So has she been able to resolve this issue? Because now she's a Prime Minister, she's the Minister of Education. Has she been able to resolve these issues?
It is an absolute shame, is an absolute disgrace that a university academic who served the department that I belong to, the Department of Social Studies, is now, or the Open University is now the Minister of Education.
But you have to be proud.
Well, there's nothing,
who has
no
been in
emotions.
your department.
I have nothing against Ranil Wickramasinghe or Harini Amarasuri or whoever it may
why
be.
are you disappointed?
But the thing is, with regard to salary anomalies that you were talking about, salary anomalies issue, it is Harini Amarasuri who told his former colleagues of the FUTA, the university academics in 17 universities, that she accepts that there is a salary anomaly created by the NPP government, and it is she who said that before the end of June, or as I remember, end of June or end of May, it is she who said, we did not demand that salary anomalies problem will be solved.
So now
Then came the end of the month, and she has absolutely nothing to tell the university academics about the salary anomalies that she herself accepted is a grave problem. Not only that, you see, we are asking. I have not. She's a. You see, I mean, we are friends. We have no problem personally. Of course. I mean, there's no reason for me to be angry with Ranil Wickramasinghe or Harini Amarasuri or anyone personally, right?
But all the people, you all are making all the people against all these politicians.
Pardon?
You all are making the public against these politicians, but internally all of you all are together.
We are not instigating, public to go and, do any harm to any politician in this country, including Mahinda Rajapaksa. Right? We are against Mahinda Rajapaksa being chased out of his official residence also. There's a due process to be used in the way they entered FSP office. They should not be entering Mahinda Rajapaksa's residence either. Everything should be according to the due process law. Going back to the Education Ministry and Harini Amarasuri and the education reforms, we are very, very clearly disturbed about a non-consultative process in the name of education reforms.
Right.
There is absolutely no business for the Minister of Education to believe in education reforms without a white paper, Davala Patrika, right? She should be inspired by great men like CWW Khanangar if she wants to really know how education reforms can be brought.
From 2015 to 2019, when Sajid Premadasa was in the Yapalne government, how many of these Davala Patrika were all presented?
When
Between 2015 to 2019, when the Yapalne government was in power, Now these white papers, the other patrika that you are talking about, how many was presented? You
Well-
want the number? I can give you the number, Dr. Mendis. 0.
Right, okay. So, if what I'm saying is in principle, whether it be in environment...
No, what I'm trying to
whether
say
it
is,
be-
even if you all were in government, it's going to be the
no,
same thing.
You see,
Because you all were in government.
we are a new party, the SJB. We cannot take responsibility for Ranil Wickramasinghe's way of doing things. We wouldn't have become a new party called SJB if we were pleased with the way Ranil Wickramasinghe conducted the party internally and on public policy, including the bond scam and all that.
Nuwan now.
Why are you laughing?
No,
You have a question?
no, I have a question with Nuwan. Nuwan, now you spoke about wild law and the justice, selected justice. Now, who are you blaming for this? Because now the politicians, the NPP government, the ministers and the parliamentarians say, we are not doing anything. The police is basically, handling all the investigation, and then they produce them into the court, and the court decide, right? So, you being a lawyer, how about the judiciary independence? Is there any influence from the government, or is there influence to the interference to police investigation? And why do you say this is happening?
No, if let's assume that police is independent, police only doing all these actions, why when police was bringing underworld group from Indonesia to Sri Lanka, why the minister is going to the airport? Why? What's the reason? If police could handle that now. So likewise, everything is politics. So this, even though they wanted to portray picture the police is completely independent, that is not, the reality is not that. So it's very clear. Then why the FSP, the office issue is concerned? We didn't see any independent police. They completely amenable to the instructions given by the 4 MPs who participated there. So as I said earlier, when they wanted to convert it to a particular political campaign, they tried to portray the picture, everything is independent, but the reality is something else.
No, but Shira, when you recollect, the last week we posed this question from Chaturanga, saying that whether the CID should be independent, and then he said yes, the CID should be independent, and then I asked him, if so, why Chinniah, who was in your political stage, has been appointed as the director of the CID? Does that make the arrest of Ranil Wickramasinghe politicized? He did not have an answer.
Yes.
He said, I don't know. I don't know whether you recollect. So anyway, I want to wrap up tonight's show. Let's start off with Attorney at Law Nuwan Bopage with regard to the future course of action and the way forward for Sri Lanka. I want to start off with you. I think it's apt for you to speak about what happened yesterday and draw a parallel and sum up your thoughts, Nuwan.
So first of all, I must tell that what was the people's aspiration in 2024 election results is a reflection of people's aspiration, that people first wanted government. They have been experiencing what happened throughout the history. Then they gave this massive power to NPP to do certain drastic changes in society. Number one is economy. So as far as the economy is concerned, the NPP's economic path is very clear. It's the same neoliberal economic path. The only one segment of the society will be benefited out of that. Majority working class and other will not be benefited out of that. That is the nature of neoliberal economy. So they continue to do the same reforms did by Ranil Wickramasinghe and previous government. So therefore, people should know there will not be change in economic sector as sector. Then the democracy. The democracy is concerned. Now it is very clear this government is want to completely narrow down the democratic space. So they are attacking the other political parties who fighting against certain reforms of this government. At the same time, we know as to how they wanted to take over the power of youth organizations in this country, and at the same time, various other areas are concerned. The government wanted to completely narrow down the democratic space of this society. At the same time, still the Prevention of Terrorism Act there, still they are using Online Safety Act. All these draconian laws are in operation. So democratic space is concerned. Also, there is now a big issue in this country. At the same time, thirdly, moral issues. As far as the moral issues are concerned, the morality also now we can't see in this government. The way that they evicted the FSP from their political office is clear reflection of the moral issue of this country. Fourth thing is foreign policy. Foreign policy is concerned now we completely bow down in front of imperial agendas. USA, India completely intervene into the internal affairs of this country. IMF intervention is so high. So we know the international affairs is concerned, foreign policy is concerned, the country is not going the direct path. Therefore, there is an imminent danger of completely betray the people's aspiration, the people's mandate given to this NPP government. Therefore, the only way out, the only solution is to be organized as forces and fighting for your rights, at the same time pushing this government to go in the direct path. If they are not willing to do that, if they are not willing to accept that people demand, we have no any option to build up proper people's movement, proper people-oriented society, people-oriented rule. So therefore, we invite people to mobilize, we invite people to gather around us. So we will completely, we should take drastic measures to convert this government to people-oriented government. Otherwise, kick them off and build a new society, new government.
Thank you very much, Nuwan, Bopage. I now move my attention towards Mr. Chinniah, Ratnavadivel.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Now, this is a new government in place, so we have been giving a little time for them to get themselves in place. What we see is what we have seen through the past experience is that critical issues, important issues have to be resolved in the first 6 months or in the first 1 year. Otherwise, they will be eyeing on the next election and will not do anything tangible, anything good for the country or anything good for the people of the country. The government has promised the repealing of PTA, Prevention of Terrorism Act, and the government has promised release of land in the northern and eastern provinces. The government has promised provincial council elections and has promised justice to the missing people and people who have been longing for a long time to see what happened to their relatives who have been handed over to the government. And these are critical things, and these have to be solved immediately. Keeping on saying okay, we will do it, and nothing being done is a very, very sad state of affairs. So what we ask this government is, now as far as the people of northern and eastern provinces are concerned, we are prepared to go with the government or with any agency that is supportive of the development of the country. We see the development of the country has to be hand in hand with the political liberation of the people. So as long as that is not done, the country cannot go forward. But we see a marked improvement with the government, that this is not moving towards racism. That is a good gesture by the government, but at the same time that is not enough. That is not enough. They have to deliver. They have to deliver in so many spheres of our life. They have to do all that. They have to finish it all within the first year at least, and within before the end of the year they have to do all that. Just the development of the northern and eastern provinces will not do. They have the previous regimes have done so much development in previous years, but that has not brought the satisfaction of the people, and their unity with the government, unity with the people of other part of the country has to be forged ahead. And what we want the government is to deliver on its promises. That has to be done. That is what we are expecting.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chinniah. Now move attention to Dr. Mendis.
It is very unfortunate that a party that was accusing all the political parties of doing things against their conscience and robbing and doing matters in a most unprincipled way, claiming that everyone is a rogue, is now proving that this is a regime without a proper sense of direction. They claimed very clearly over and over again that from 1948 all the parties have robbed and they are unprincipled people. We know that. They continue, all what they have done is they have continued with the same rhetoric. We want the NPP government to be a principled regime. We are not expecting the NPP government to collapse. We want them, we know, we accept that the people have given them a mandate. Let them honor the mandate given by the people of the North. There's a representative from the TNA. We are a party, the SJB, we very clearly stated that we believe in regional autonomy, that our leader very clearly stated, told the Tamil people that he believes in 13 plus, and we believe in power sharing and all that. And it is up to the, very unfortunately, they did not give a mandate to Mr. Premadasa. Now, all what I want to say is that we do not believe that the country can move forward with Jekyll and Hyde in Sinhala, Dawal Miguel, Ray Daniel policies. We want the government to walk its talk, and also, if at all, they should be learning from leaders like Mr. Premadasa with regard to Israel, with regard to India, with regard to the powerful other countries. We know that unlike Mr. Anurukumar Dissanayake, who signed so many agreements and kept it a secret to the people of this country, even when the FSP's education secretary went on a appeal to get the information from the right to information, under right to information, all what they could say was that they have to get permission from the Indian government to tell the people of Sri Lanka as to what the agreements contain. This is a disgrace. The people who voted for this government should understand that this is a most disgraceful regime that willfully insulted the intelligence of the people. Well, I can remember Mr. Ranasinghe Premadasa, when he was coming to power, he said that the 125,000 or whatever the Indian troops will be asked to leave by a particular deadline, and he meant it. And Mr. Rajiv Gandhi knew very well that he really meant it, and that is the way they had to withdraw their troops. Israel interest section, you talk about Israel, well, Israel interest section, Mr. Premadasa told, will be closed down if he comes to power, and that was what exactly Mr. Premadasa did. Mr. Anurukumar Dissanayake should be gaining inspiration from leaders like Ranasinghe Premadasa, with regard to the British ambassador William Gladstone, who most disgracefully interfered in the internal affairs of Sri Lanka with regard to the general election or the presidential election, going into a polling booth. Mr. Premadasa asked that gentleman to leave this country, persona non grata, not welcome. The British government did not even retaliate. Mr. Premadasa had the backbone, the mind and the spine to ask him to leave. Let the NPP government gain inspiration from great leaders like Ranasinghe Premadasa. That's it I can say.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahim Mendis from the SJB. Thank you very much, Mr. Chinniah Ratnavadivel from the ITAC, as well as Attorney at Law Nuwan Bopage from the People's Struggle Alliance, for joining us this evening on Face the Nation. And thank you very much for sending in your messages via WhatsApp on the number 076 656 5353. I was able to take most of those questions to our panelists this evening, and thank you very much, independent journalist Shihar, for joining us this evening on Face the Nation. I leave you tonight with a quote, as I always do. If you put any government in the world in charge of the Sahara Desert, guess what will happen? In 5 years, there'll be a shortage of sand. Take care and good night.